Hola hola, my people. Welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time here, Sobobona, Sinamukula, I am so glad you found us. Grab your tea, grab your snacks, get comfortable, because today we are talking about Inimba. Mzansi Magic's baby that has been absolutely wrecking us emotionally since last year, and honestly, Season 2 has not been playing any games at all. Now if you don't already know the show, quick catch up for the newbies. Inimba is this incredible Xhosa language telenovela about Zolika Bikicha, a hard businesswoman who years ago made the choice to leave her daughter Kobakazi, behind to chase her career, and now, 20 years later, the chickens have well and truly come home to roost. Its mothers, its daughters, its generational pain, its business empires clashing, it's the Mbandla family and the Ndukona family and the Sitholes all tangled up together, and right now the center of the storm is Zethu, whose pregnancy and birth have basically brought two families to their knees. Okay, so quick recap of where we left off, because you need this context. Zethu had this whole complicated pregnancy arc, right? There was the baby shower that turned into an absolute nightmare, remember that? The baby shower episode, joyful occasion, everybody's celebrating, and then boom, it turns into a frightening fight for life. My heart was in my throat. Then we got too soon, Zethu's journey into motherhood takes this devastating, unexpected turn, and Wandel drops a truth on Sydney that just shatters him. And then, just yesterday, baby blues, Zethu is already struggling, motherhood is becoming this overwhelming burden, and on top of that there's tension brewing between Zolika and Lazarus about some decision regarding Zolika's future. Oh, and an old friendship gets pushed to the point of no return. So yeah. The Mbandla Sithole world has been on fire. Which brings us to today. Episode 118. Support Structures. And my loves, the title alone had me nervous, because on this show, when they name an episode something hopeful like that, half the time it's ironic. So let's get into it. Scene 1, Zethu, alone with the baby. We open, and this is classic Inimba, they love to open on a quiet moment before they wreck you. We open on Zethu, in the nursery, and it's early morning light coming through the window, and she is just sitting there with the baby, and she looks exhausted. Like, bone-tired, hollow-eyed exhausted. Not the glowing new mother energy we were maybe hoping for after everything this family has survived to get to this point. And you can immediately feel it, the show is telling us, we are not done with Zethu yet. She tries to settle the baby won't settle, and you can see her hands shaking a little. And I don't know about you, but the moment I saw that, I said out loud to my TV, Zethu, please, somebody go and check on this woman. Because after baby blues yesterday, we already knew she was drowning, and today, episode title Support Structures, and she's sitting there with no support structure in sight. That's not subtle, Inimba. That's not subtle at all. I see you. Scene 2, the Mbandla house, Zolika and Lazarus. Cut to the Mbandla house, and this is where things get juicy, because remember, the tension has been building between Zolika and Lazarus over some decision about Zolika's future. Today, we finally get into it properly. Zolika is going through paperwork, looks business related, could be about the company, could be about something bigger, and Lazarus comes in, and the energy between them is just tight. Controlled. The kind of tight where you know somebody's about to say the thing they've been holding back. And listen, Zolika and Lazarus have had such a journey. From enemies, to this complicated alliance, to whatever we're calling their relationship now, and every time I think this show is going to let them just be happy for 5 minutes, something comes along and tests it. Today it's this decision. The show is deliberately vague about exactly what the decision is in the scene, but from the way Zolika won't look at him properly, and the way Lazarus keeps choosing his words so carefully, I am getting the sense this is about whether Zolika steps back from the business, or steps back from something else entirely? Possibly both. There's a moment where Lazarus tries to reach for her hand and she pulls back, not dramatically, just quietly. And honestly, that quiet pulling away hit me harder than if she'd shouted at him. Because we know Zolika. When Zolika goes quiet, that's when you should be most worried. I was literally leaning forward on my couch like, "Ma'am, talk to your husband." But no. Of course not. This is Inimba. Communication is apparently illegal in this family. Scene 3, back to Zethu, the crossroads deepens. We cut back to Zethu, and now she's trying to get through the day, trying to be functional, trying to be the mother everyone expects her to be, and she runs into a family member. I won't be 100% certain who initiates the scene, but from the flow of it, it plays like one of the Sithole or Mabanda women stopping by, expecting to find Zethu coping, and instead finding her barely holding it together. And here's where the episode title really starts to bite: support structures, because what we're watching is Zethu reaching out, in her own small way, testing whether anyone around her actually sees what she's going through. And the response she gets is lukewarm. Distracted. Everybody's caught up in their own crisis. Sydney's dealing with the fallout from Wandle's confession, the family's still reeling from the birth drama, and Zethu is sort of slipping through the cracks. Can you believe this? After everything this poor woman went through just to bring this baby into the world, and now she's basically invisible in her own home. I was getting genuinely frustrated on her behalf. Like, somebody look at her. This is the exact kind of slow burn heartbreak Inimba does so well. They don't need a scream or a slap to break your heart, they just need one woman sitting quietly, unseen, and it destroys you just as much. Scene 4, the business front, cracks widen. Meanwhile, because Inimba never lets you sit in one storyline too long, we cut over to the business side of things. There's a tense exchange, looks like it's connected to that decision about Zolika's future thread, and this time it seems to touch on Lazarus and Zolika standing at the company. Somebody, and my money is on it, circling back to Mawethu's corner, given how the truth has been closing in on him these past few weeks, is applying pressure. Whether it's about ownership, about leadership, or about exposing something from the past, the scene plays out with a lot of clipped, careful dialogue. Nobody's saying exactly what they mean, but everybody in the room clearly understands the subtext. This is the kind of scene where Inimba loves to plant a seed that doesn't pay off for another 2 or 3 episodes, so file this one away, because I don't think we've seen the last of whatever decision is hanging over Zolika right now. Scene 5, the turn, the weight becomes too much. Okay, this is the scene everybody's going to be talking about tonight. We come back to Zethu, and true to the teaser, the weight of motherhood finally becomes too much for Zethu to carry alone. This is where it all comes to a head. She's alone with the baby again, it's later in the day now, the lights changed, and there's this mounting sense of dread the whole scene, the way the camera lingers just a bit too long on her face. And then, she breaks. Not in a huge, loud, over-the-top way. It's quieter than that, and honestly scarier because of it. She's overwhelmed, she's crying, she looks like she doesn't know what to do with herself, and for a moment, and I want to be honest with you, my stomach dropped here, it genuinely looks like she might do something she can take back. The show pulls right up to that edge. I was not expecting them to go there this fast, honestly. We just had the baby blues episode yesterday, and I thought maybe we'd get a slower build. But no, Inimba said let's rip the band-aid off today, and phew, okay. Scene 6, the kindness. And this is where the episode earns its title. Because just when it feels like Zethu has absolutely nobody, someone shows up. And based on how the teaser is worded, one unexpected act of kindness changes everything. I don't think this is one of the obvious family members. I think this is somebody Zethu, and honestly us as viewers, would not have expected to step up. Could be someone from outside the immediate family circle, a neighbor, a friend who's been sidelined in the drama, maybe even someone from the rival side of this whole Mzansi whole mess. Whoever it is, they sit with her. They don't try to fix it with words, they don't lecture her, they just show up. And it's genuinely one of the most tender moments this show has given us in weeks. After all the shouting, the betrayals, the secrets, just one person choosing to be present for another person in pain. I actually got a little emotional watching this play out, not gonna lie to you. But, and you know Inimba, there's always a but, the way this act of kindness is framed feels less like a resolution and more like a setup. Because changes everything is doing a lot of work in that sentence. Changes everything how? For better. Or does this new bond create a whole new complication down the line? Knowing this show, I would bet money it's the second one. Scene 7, Zolika's Crossroads, Part 2. We close out with one more beat on Zolika. She's processing whatever happened earlier with Lazarus, and there's a moment where you can see her weighing something. Love versus business. Loyalty versus self-protection. It's not resolved, the episode very deliberately leaves her sitting with the decision unmade, but the way it's shot, with her alone, staring at something, could be a document, could be a photo, we don't get full clarity, tells us this crossroads is about to snap one way or the other. And then, the episode ends. No neat bow. Zethu, fragile but not alone anymore, at least for tonight. Zolika, standing at the edge of a decision that could change her marriage and her business empire in one move. Classic Inimba cliffhanger energy, nothing explodes, but everything feels like it's about to. My thoughts. Okay, my honest reaction. I think this might be one of the most important quiet episodes of the season. It's not the loudest episode, there's no huge reveal, no slap, no scream-in-your-face confrontation, but emotionally. This might be one of the heaviest hours the show's given us. Zethu's storyline in particular, I have to say, this show is doing something really important by showing a new mother struggling like this so openly. It's not always comfortable to watch, but it feels real, and it feels like the kind of storyline that's going to matter for these characters long after this arc wraps. And can we talk about Zolika and Lazarus for a second? I'm honestly torn on this one. Part of me wants them to just be okay, after everything, but the storyteller in me knows Inimba is not going to let that happen without a fight. My gut says this decision about Zolika's future is going to blow their relationship wide open before the week is out. What's coming next? Now let's talk predictions, because tomorrow's episode is literally titled A Moment of Loop, and from what I'm hearing, it does not let up. It sounds like Zethu, feeling abandoned by the people around her, reaches an even more dangerous breaking point, and given how close today's episode came to the edge, I am bracing myself. On top of that, it sounds like whatever's been simmering between Zolika and Lazarus finally boils over completely, heartbreaking truths, old history, accusations flying. And then there's a desperate search for peace that might come at a devastating price. Devastating price, people. On Inimba, that phrase usually means someone we love does not walk away unscathed. My prediction. I think that unexpected act of kindness from today is going to become a lifeline that keeps Zethu from going over the edge tomorrow, but I also think it's going to plant the seeds of a brand new conflict, maybe even jealousy or suspicion from someone in the family who doesn't trust this new person's motives. And for Zolika and Lazarus, I think we're finally about to get the truth about that decision, and I would not be shocked if it's tied to Zolika considering stepping away from the business entirely, which, given everything Mawethu's been circling, could not come at a worse time. Honestly, I think we are heading into one of the most intense stretches of episodes this season. Buckle up. Outro. Okay guys, that is today's Inimba recap for episode 118, Support Structures, and my word, what an episode. If you enjoyed this recap, please hit that like button, it genuinely helps this channel so much. If you're new here, subscribe, turn on that notification bell, because I recap every single episode, and trust me, you do not want to miss what's coming tomorrow with a moment of loop. And I want to hear from you. Drop a comment below and tell me, who do you think showed up for Zethu at the end there? Do you think Zolika is going to walk away from Lazarus, from the business, or both? I'm dying to know what you all think is coming. Thank you so much for watching. As always, I appreciate every single one of you. Stay safe, drink your water, and I will see you right back here tomorrow for the next Inimba recap. Bye for now.